Apparently, Kanye West Yeezy mocks Walmart's objections to its new logo, and this is by the New York Post. So, tensions between Kanye West and Walmart are heating up with the Love lockdown, singer blasting the retailer in yet another legal filing. Less than a week after West sued Walmart for selling knockoff sneakers, his fashion label, Yeezy, has filed paperwork seeking to dismiss a separate trademark dispute the retailer has against it. The Bentonville Arc retailer in April filed an objection with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office over Yeezy's new logo, described in patent paperwork as rays from a sun, claiming that it's too similar to Walmart's and will therefore cause confusion. But in paperwork filed on Tuesday, Yeezy asked that Walmart's objection be dismissed, signaling the retailer certainly knows, as does the consuming public, that the last thing Yeezy wants is to do is associate itself with Walmart. The idea that the internationally famous rapper, entrepreneur, and former U.S. presidential candidate would seek to mislead consumers into mistakenly believing that Walmarts are associated is simply put absurd, Yeezy said. Yeezy filed his trademark application in January 2020, saying that it plans to use the new logo on everything from sneakers, underwear, t-shirts, furniture, modular homes, and even hotel services. But the process was stalled in April after Walmart complained that the new logo, comprised of 8 dotted lines emanating from a circle, is too similar to its sun logo, comprised of 6 solid lines around a circle. And unless blocked, it will cause consumer confusion and deception and dilute Walmart's brand, the retailer said. The apparent feud escalated last week when Yeezy and a billionaire rapper sued Walmart for selling fake versions of its bizarre-looking new sneakers called foam runners, which quickly sold out despite drawing unflattering comparisons to Crocs. Foam runners sold for $75 when they were introduced last year and now sell for upwards of 3 times that on the secondary market, according to the suit. The knockoffs on Walmart's site were retailing for between $21.99 and $33.99 a pair. Now the thing is, they look literally exactly identical. Like, exactly identical. So the complaint accuses Walmart of trying to ride on Yeezy's coattails by offering subpar quality fakes that might make consumers falsely believe that Walmart and Yeezy have a partnership. Walmart has said that the fakes were sold on its third-party marketplace by independent sellers and not by Walmart, adding that it takes allegations like this seriously. The retailer has since removed the listings for Yeezy-inspired slides among other products that were blatantly riffing on the rapper's designs. And Walmart did not immediately respond for comment on Yeezy's request to have its complaint tossed. By the way, this is the thing that you gotta understand, because this kind of stuff also happens on Amazon. Amazon also does, Amazon ends up having like so many products listed and stuff that are just blatant ripoffs of other products, especially like mainstream products, right? Especially things like, like AirPods and all that kind of stuff. Just go on Amazon.com and just look for just search for any of your brand name type of products, and you'll see a whole bunch of duplicates of basically fake products right behind it, right, or around it, or being suggested for less prices and all that kind of stuff, right? And that might think to a certain percentage of the people who end up looking for that original product, it's oh, this other product that looks exactly the same is totally going to be worth paying less, right? Because it looks exactly the same, so how much different can it actually be, right? And that's where you get into a situation where you end up buying a product of lesser quality, so you end up spending more money buying either more of those products or keep on buying more and more of those products instead of just buying the original product with the better quality. So this is a situation in sometimes where if you're a shopper and you see things like this and you're interested in this original product, it is typically better to just buy the original product like spend a little bit more for that original product because the quality is probably going to be up to snuff in the sense that it could last for a while after being used compared to knockoffs from like China or India or something like that, right? Or Taiwan. So that's something to really think about. Sometimes it's not always better on like a saving money perspective in the long term by going with the cheaper options. The same thing could be said for like, different clothings. Now, I'm not saying specifically go for like brand name stuff, but there are some things to be said that there's typically a quality control aspect to very major brand companies, even though technically they might be sourced from the same area, might even be made from the same location or same manufacturer as like these other cheaper options, but the quality of that product might actually be better, right? And a lot of people may not really think about that or think that's the case, but the thing is, there's usually a checks and balance when it comes to any sort of product, right? So let's just take like a typical t-shirt, right? A typical t-shirt that, might be, I guess let's do like a Michael Kors or something, right? So like a t-shirt from Michael Kors might be, I don't know, like $40-$50. And let's just say like a black t-shirt or something, right? Now the quality of that might be a lot better than just say like a normal black t-shirt from Walmart that looks exactly the same, might be made from the same part of the country, well, part of the world, I should say, right? Might both be made in China, might both be made in the same factory, but because it has this brand name and it has to go through this extra process of quality control within that company, you might actually end up coming with a pretty decent quality and strength of the product, might like last for maybe 5 or 10 years compared to the pure, China version of maybe only lasting like a year, right? Before it starts to lose color or something like that. Now, obviously, even, China's manufacturing has increased greatly over the years. Same thing with Taiwan, India, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, sometimes it is better to just buy the original product if you're already interested in that original product instead of just trying to find, some other alternative just because it's cheaper. Because sometimes a cheaper option is not necessarily better long term. Because let's just say, the whole AirPods thing, right? AirPods are like $200, right? If you're going to spend like $20 for like some cheap knockoffs and those cheap knockoffs break all the time, so you have to keep on buying more cheap knockoffs, well, it's going to get to the point where after, 12 cheap knockoffs, you could have just bought the brand new original AirPods and still have been able to use the AirPods throughout this whole time and for years later down the line. So that's something to really think about, which again, a lot of people, when they try to save money, sometimes think that just buying cheaper means that they're going to save money, but sometimes in a long-term scenario, depending on the quality of the product, that might not be the case. So sometimes it's better to just go with the original product, spend a little bit more upfront to save money in the long term.